Hi, this is Steven from Just Got Played, and today we are looking at an AEG Mystery Box. So AEG had these daily dice deals that they were doing back in, May, and you could get percentage off from their store with cheap shipping, which I used to get some promos. And then they also just had a mystery box. So I ordered one and it arrived. So let's see what all is in here, and then maybe we can open these games up too, right? All right, so we've got Number Drop, which is kind of like I guess it is a roll and write that is sort of Tetris themed. So you get the shape and then the numbers that go in the shape, and you write that somewhere on your board. All right, we'll open that in a minute. All right, we've got Adventure Time Love Letter. I think this is pretty much standard love letter, except there are maybe one or two cards that are different that give it a different theme. And then, of course, you have the art from Adventure Time. Actually, it's Adventure Time characters cosplaying as Shakespearean characters or something. All right, what is this? We got a letter in here. Thank you for participating. Well, you are welcome. A Waffle Time, Number Drop, Shake That City, and then here's the Adventure Time Love Letter. A game from the personal supply of John Zinser. Okay. All right, I guess he had a lot of those in his personal supply. I don't know how many of these were sold. But yeah, look at that. Shake That City is one that I was particularly interested in. And then Waffle Time is an unreleased game. It's going to be in their big game night at Gen Con. All right, so here is Waffle Time. So Waffle Time, I think, is sort of like a light sushi go style game. You draft cards. And you're going to draft toppings for your waffles, essentially. Yeah, gather your toppings, craft the perfect bite, and there's syrup cards. All right, cool. Only 1 to 4 players, though. Usually with those light sort of games, I like to have more players, but we'll take a look at that. And then this one, of course, I'm very familiar with. In fact, I was thinking about getting a retail copy of it. Shake That City, where you've got this neat shaker that lays out a pattern of cubes. And then people choose which color they want to build using, and then they have to put that pattern on their board for the different city things. So anyway, we'll take a look at that as well. So let me put this aside, and let's start with Adventure Time Love Letter. All right, so let me open this up. It's a small box, and that did not want to open up. Let me try that again. All right, there we go. That's open now. And it really just feels like a few cards, which is, it's love letter. So it's got the handy little notch there to make it easier to open. And yeah, there you go. So, all right, Adventure Time Love Letter. I'm not going to belabor the rules since that's a game a lot of people have seen. I've got 2 versions of Love Letter that I really like. I've got Jabba's Palace, which is the Star Wars version. And then I've got the Infinity Gauntlet or whatever it's called version, which is, like one versus many. So I don't think I need another version of Love Letter. So maybe I'll be giving this one away. I don't know. We'll see. Those are, I guess, the scoring point tokens, I would assume. And then, of course, the game is in the cards of Love Letter. So what do we have here in the cards? Might as well look at the art so that you got to have the princess, right? The lady. All right, the wizard. The hero, I think, is a little different because I think if you have the 2 heroes in your hand, you can win the game or something like that. And then there's something about getting an extra point if you have a companion in your hand at the end of the game. So anyway, I think that's what makes it different from standard Love Letter. All right, a bunch of guards. You got to have a bunch of guards, of course. And then the list of cards. All right. All right, there you go. So there's the Adventure Time Love Letter that came in there. Let's take a look at the Number Drop now. All right. So let me get that open. All right. Again, handy notch on the side to help make it easier to open the box, but here we go. There's the rule book for Number Drop. So you can see there's the setup, components, How to play, roll dice, drop blocks, drop shapes. Yeah, you can't just put them on your board however you want. They still have to sort of obey gravity, I think. Circle combos, the end of the round. Hey, there's a solo mode. That's nice. Actually, I didn't look how many players this was for. There you go. 1 to 6, right? About 20 minutes. Simple enough. So yeah, there's the scoreboard where you're or the player board. We've got a whole pad of these. Are they double-sided? They're not double-sided. But anyway, you have to draw the shapes on here, and you put the numbers in the shapes, and then I don't know. I'm guessing this tells you how you score or something. All right, and then wow, not even sure what that's for, but okay, there you go. There's the ABCD. Got some tiles here. Got a bag to bag stuff in. That's nice. Here's these tiles are, just different shapes. So that's cool. Maybe that's a different way to play and telling you what shapes you can have. But otherwise, you have in a square, you have to write 1 through 5, and then the star lets you write like a 6, 7, 8, 9 or something. Well, it lets you write whatever you want, right? I think so. Yeah, so there's a D6 that's missing a 3, maybe? I don't know. Oh, or maybe each one is missing a different number. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I don't know. But there is that wild symbol. The wild symbol lets you do, whatever. And then, of course, there's this die, which is the shape die, which is cool. This is cool just to get all on its own. Look at that. Hey, you get to choose the shape. But yeah, it shows you the different shapes that are available. All right, so that is number drop. And I will give that one a shot. All right, let's give a shot to Waffle Time. How about that? Let's take a look at Waffle Time. All right, so we've got Waffle Time here. This is the one that's not even released yet. So here's the back. 30 minutes, 1 to 4 players, like we already said. And we had a look at that earlier. Let me just get this open. All right. Cut that. Get the shrink off. All right, Waffle Time. All right, so Waffle Time, you look at the components. There's the rule book, draft board, score pad, turn order tiles, waffle boards. There's a lot of components in this one, which, it's a bigger box. So I sort of expected that. So you've got setup, gameplay overview, how to play, place pawns and take toppings, place toppings on your waffle, check the fruit patterns, check your goals, clean up, and into the game. All right, well, that seems pretty simple. There is also a solo mode. There you go. Clarifications on the cards. And there's the credits. That's nice. For a second, I thought those were mats. So these are boards. Waffle boards. All right, and everybody's got sort of a color, I guess, right? Lemonish color. I guess they're supposed to look like old-time tablecloths in the background. But there you go. So your waffle is, what is that, 5 by 5? All right, 25 waffle spaces. All right, well, let's take a look. I guess this is butter. It's just standard cardboard. Nothing special, but nothing bad either. I'm not sure what this is for. Maybe this is the thing you're drafting from. All right, so got some more of those. We got a bunch of different fruits here. What do you like on your waffles, huh? You want strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, bananas, apples? I would recommend cutting up the apple and not putting just like a whole apple on your waffle, but you do you. All right, we got some more of those. Whipped cream. Okay, I recommend whipped cream on a waffle, Belgian waffles. Maybe these are syrup tokens. I didn't really look to see what these were called, but if just based on the theme of the game and look at these, I'd be like, oh, those are syrup tokens. All right, so that's actually a pretty cool component. Nothing wrong with the other components, but that one's neat. Something I haven't seen like that before. These are probably those pawns they were talking about. So wooden pawns in all the player colors. Got some bags. Always like to have bags. And a score sheet so you can see what all you can score for. I don't know. A victory point for that, a victory point for a bunch of stuff stacked up, and butter, and syrup. Yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, let me get these cards open, and then we'll take a look at some of the cards. All right. Right, so I'm going to guess that has something to do with syrup, even though it's empty. Who wants an empty syrup bottle? All right. Again, it's showing you some victory points here. So, yeah, I set the same. Yeah, maybe that's just a reference card to have out. And then, what was on the back of these? Oh, they had like waffles and stuff on the back. These all seem to show what the component is on the back. So that's interesting. Not exactly sure. Maybe if you have that pattern, then you get to put some syrup on something. Hey, man, well, I mean, that would be cool. Maybe if that's the mechanism here. But yeah, here you go. Here's a bunch of the different cards. Victory points for having syrup in the corner, maybe, or in that pattern. All right, so there's points for different patterns of syrup or, fruits. All right, cool. That's I like the production on that. It looks on the lighter side, but I would give that a shot with my kids. So that's Waffle Time, and that leaves Shake That City, which is the one I think is the most interesting one in the box here. I mean, maybe if you're an Adventure Time fan, you might have a different opinion, but yeah, this is one that I was really wanting to play. I was hoping they would have it at that convention I just went to, but they didn't. So anyway, Shake That City. I think I have to assemble the shaker, so I probably won't be demoing the shaker. But yeah, here's the rule book. Right, so there's a bunch of different types of tiles. There's the cube shaker. If you back the Kickstarter, you get some white cubes that are sort of wild, but boy, where am I going to source 8 cubes from? Sorry, that was snarky. Cube shaker assembly there, so that's a one-time thing. It fits back in the box afterwards. As far as I know, round overview. All right, so you shake the cubes and you lay them out, and then the person who did that in most rounds chooses one set of cubes that are available, and then everybody else has to choose from the other ones. They can't choose from those. In the last few rounds, maybe 13, 14, 15, everybody can choose regardless of which one was taken. And game end family variant. That's interesting. Construction variant, solo variant, and then what looks like a reference here. So that's cool. So yeah, here's the cube shaker that needs to be assembled, and here's some of the, tiles. Interesting. These tiles have 2 different types on them, so I'm not sure exactly what those are. Yet some more pieces of the cube shaker. Everybody has their board, so these actually get punched out. That's interesting. They're nice and thick, though. You place some things around the edge of your board that allow you to score. So you do have to punch that out, and then I think this is this way just so stuff kind of aligns and sticks there without getting jostled too much. All right, so here's a bunch of the tiles, right? So red tiles are houses. Let's just punch one. Yeah, I mean, that's a decent thickness. So again, nothing to complain about there. This is one of those tiles. So yeah, all right. So I talked about punching these out and then lining things up along the edge, right? And this says that, if you fill this row up completely, you can flip this over and you get, 3 points at the end of the game. Or this says, hey, if there are 4 houses in this row where this lines up, then you can flip this over and you get 3 points at the end of the game. So you really just have to do one of those things to score those points. All right. And so there are houses and there are parks, right? We've got parks. There are also roads, the grayer roads. And then we also have, I guess, office buildings maybe in blue. And then there's factories. Factories must be black. All right. So you got a bunch of those different tiles because, again, depending on which cubes are out, you take the corresponding colored tile type of tile. All right. Some boards here. I don't actually know what those are for. This is the round tracker. So that's nice. As you can see out here in rounds 13, 14, and 15, you've got some flexibility that you don't have in the other rounds. Score pads, double-sided. Yes, success. All right. Hey, some rubber bands. That must be, I'm assuming there's maybe just one of these are required for the shaker, and then they just gave you some extra ones. That's cool. And a bunch of bags. Cool. A bunch of bags. And then here are the cubes. And something in there that's not a cube. What is this? This must be to go on the round tracker, I guess. It's a Shake That City token. But yeah, if you look at these cubes, they're just sort of standard. So I'm going to have to dig into my component bag from my game design days and get some white cubes, or, well, really just any color that doesn't match these cubes, and make my own wild cubes to test out that mini expansion. But there you go. That's what is in Shake That City, and Waffle Time, and Adventure Time Love Letter, and Number Drop. And that's what came in the AEG Mystery Box from the Daily Dice Deal in 2023. If you have any questions about any of these games, I'll try to answer them. You can just ask me in the YouTube comments here, or linked down below. We've got a Discord channel, so come talk to me there. But until next time, thanks for watching.